Okay, this is understanding the Koi Koi minigame in Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Check the description for timestamps because we'll go over how to find the minigame, how to start it, the deck as a whole, the rules, possible combinations, and then we'll finally play a game, which is why the video is like so long. Most of it's playing a game and talking through playing a game. So check the description if you just want to see like a part of it or something like that. The goal of this video is for you to walk away knowing the category of each card, whether it's a junk card, an animal card, a ribbon card, or a bright card, and the overall umbrella combination that they belong to. There's a junk combination, a variety combination, a poetry ribbon combination, and one, or whether it belongs to one of the bright light combinations. And there are sub combinations under it, but I'm hoping that you'll at least walk away knowing the overall arching combination it'll belong to. That'll help that you need before you can get to the subcategories. Anyway, so in the demo, which is where I am, we are at the gambling hall between Fuji and Waikiki. This gambling hall right here, you can get to it from like the alleyway and stuff. And this is where I found it. In order to play your first game, you have to buy tokens. Or tags, rather. Wooden tags. Basically, it's $1 a tag. And in order to play a beginning game of Koi Koi, you need 300 tags. So basically, it's $300. So you can either buy 100 tags 3 times, or you can just buy 1,000 tags for $1,000. Depends on what you want to do, how much money you have, how many people you've beaten up already. So anyway, that's how you get the tags to start the game. And then you come over to this guy right here, and you tell him you want to play Koi Koi. Now, before we get to the rules and the combinations and all of that, it is important, very, very, very important that you find the entire Koi Koi deck. In the description is going to be a link to a website called lovethynerd.com, a definitive guide to Koi Koi, which is the website I found when I was trying to figure out how to play this game. They have an absolutely lovely breakdown of the entire deck by month. The deck is made up of 48 cards, and it goes by month, January to December, and each month has 4 cards. Each month is made up of either a junk card. Well, they all have junk cards. Junk cards, and then they either have a ribbon card and a bright card, or a ribbon and an animal, or a bright and an animal, or something like that. It's kind of a mix, and it depends on the month. Seeing the deck as a whole makes learning the game a lot easier, because then you can see what pairs with what, and understand why the game is pairing with what it's pairing with, and what you might want to hold on to because of also what it can pair with. So we'll go ahead and start with the rules. It's played with a Hanafuda deck. Match a card in your hand with one on the table to take that card. Now, cards match per month, so you can only match a January card with a January card, February card with a February card, etc. Form special card combinations with the cards you take to outscore your opponents and win the game. There are 12 card suits, January to December, and each suit consists of 4 cards. Like I said, junk cards, and then there's some sort of combination of animal, ribbon, and bright card to make 4. During your turn, place 1 card from your hand on the table. If there's another card of the same suit on the table, the pair is yours. This is shown in the game, not necessarily by putting a card on the table, but just by picking one out of your hand and whether or not it pairs with one on the table. If there are no other cards of the same suit on the table, your card stays on the table. What that means is nothing in your hand pairs with what's on the table. You have to sort of pick sort of like a discard. This is also where seeing the entire deck as a whole will come into beneficial play, because you can look at the cards in your hand and see what else is part of that month, whether there's a bright card or a ribbon card or an animal card that you might want. You might not discard that card because you need it to pick it up later, because you can only pick up cards and pair cards by month. After playing a card from your hand, excuse me, after playing a card from your hand, immediately draw a card from the deck and place it on the table, claiming another pair if possible. So basically everybody goes twice. I go first with a card in my hand, potentially, or I discard one from my hand, and then I take one from the deck. And then my opponent, they will either be able to pair from their hand or discard onto the table and then take one from the deck. So everybody sort of goes twice. Upon forming a specific combination with your cards, you will have the option to call koi. If you call koi, you're going to keep playing. You won't get the points from the combination that you just formed, but they'll go in a bucket, sort of. If you don't call koi after, you end up losing those points. So if you have the option, if this comes up, call koi or don't call koi, if you call koi, you're going to keep playing and try and win more points overall. So like say you get 5 points because you formed a combination that's worth 5 points. You can get those 5 points right away by not calling koi. The only way to assign those points to you right then and there is to not call koi. That will end the, say, January hand and move you on to February, because that's how the hands are done. They're done by month, January, February, March. If you call koi, what you're saying is, I see I can have these 5 points, but I think I can do better. If you do form another combination, those 5 points get added to whatever this next combination that you form is, and you'll have another opportunity to end the hand by not calling koi and getting those points. But if your opponent ends the hand, or the hand ends because there's no more moves on the table left, then you lose those points. So it's kind of strategic as to whether or not you call koi or don't call koi. You either keep playing and run the risk of losing the points you can have, or you don't call koi and you take those points and you move on to the next round. Okay. So now let's view hands. These are the potential combinations that you can form for points in the game. If you are looking at the deck as a whole right now, either from the website that I provided or from one that you found, you'll see the same cards. You'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I recognize that card, I recognize that card, I recognize that card. The junk combination is 10 junk cards for 1 point. Anything that's not an animal, ribbon, or bright card is a junk card. The website I provided has a dash underneath junk cards, and then animal cards say animal, bright say bright, ribbon say ribbon, junk say dash. So that's how you can tell. Poetry ribbons, there are 3 different ribbon combinations that you can form. The poetry ribbons is your generic overall category. There's poetry ribbons, blue poetry ribbons, which is the bottom one, ignore variety for right now, or the red poetry ribbons. Poetry ribbons are any 5 poetry ribbon cards. If you happen to get 6, then you get an extra point. But for any 5 poetry ribbon cards, you get 1 point. If you get another one, then you get 6. However, if you get the 3 blue poetry ribbons, you get 5 points So that's sort of a subcategory of the overall poetry. So keep an eye on the ribbon cards and the subcategories that they can form. Then the red poetry ribbons are the ones that have writing on them. You can see if you're looking at the deck as a whole that the ones with writing on them are January, February, and March. April is a red ribbon but doesn't have writing. May doesn't have writing. July doesn't have writing, and November doesn't have writing. So those red ones with no writing would only qualify for poetry ribbons. Blue ones qualify for blue poetry or poetry. And then red poetry are the ones with the writing on it, and they can be red poetry for 5 points or just regular poetry overall umbrella category. So those are the ribbon categories that can be formed. Variety is any 5 10-point cards with each additional 10-point card adding another point. What they mean are animal cards. Animal cards are worth 10 points. So any 5 animal cards will get you a variety combination for 1 point. And then if you get an additional animal card for 6 cards, you get 2 points. 1 plus 1. Okay, then there's a sub-animal category. There's the umbrella, where you can get any 5 animal cards. Or, if you manage to get the boar, deer, and the butterfly, you can get 5 points for those 3 cards. That's the boar, deer, butterfly category. Then we have moon viewing and cherry blossom viewing. The moon card, and then the first card in the cherry blossom, which is cherry blossom over a curtain, sort of is what it's known as. Those 2 are bright cards. The moon card is the August bright card, and the cherry blossom over curtain is the March bright card. If you pair either one of those with the September animal card, which for whatever reason is Sake Cup with Chrysanthemum, and September is Chrysanthemum, but that's known as the Sake Cup with Chrysanthemum, which is the card on the right for both pairs. Then you can get either moon viewing for 5 points or cherry blossom viewing for 5 points. Then we have a season category combination. Each hand for the game is per month. So as beginner, you'll play January, February, and March. If you get all 4 January cards during the January hand, you'll form a season combination. If you get the 4 February cards during the February hand, you'll get the season combination. If you get the January cards during February or any other non-January month, you get nothing. You have to have the 4 cards for the month of the round that you're playing. Another good reason to see the entire deck all at once so that you can see the cards. Then these last 4 go together. They're the bright cards and some combination of all 5 of them. There are 5 bright cards in the deck. The January one is the Heron card. I'll actually start over here. The 5 lights for 10 points. Those are the 5 bright cards in the deck. And there are only 5 bright cards in the deck. So why it's described as Rain Man with 4 other 20-point cards, I don't know. Because there aren't like a combination of 4 to make up. It's all 5. There's only 5, so you can only have all 5. So 5 lights is all 5. It's not, I mean, it technically is Rain Man with 4 other, but it the way it's worded, it implies that there's some sort of multiple combinations of 4, and there's not. There's only 5 bright cards in the entire deck. So you have to have all 5 bright cards in order to get the 5 lights combination. 4 lights is not Rain Man. It's everything, it's all bright cards minus Rain Man. Rainy 4 lights is Rain Man with 3 other bright cards And it could be anything. It could be the heron. Now, the pictures for these, it's kind of important to note, not the only ones you can have. So Rainy 4 Lights is Rain Man, which is the card on the right in that category. It's the man with the umbrella, with 3 other 20-point cards, which are bright cards. And the bright cards in the deck are the Heron, which is pictured, the Cherry Blossoms over Curtain, which is pictured, the Moon, which is pictured, and then there's the December bright card, and I don't honestly know what it is. It's the yellow card on the right for both of these. It's that one. So that yellow card on the right with the yellow background is good for Rainy 4 Lights and 3 Lights. It just isn't in part of the example. But it is a bright card, so it counts. So Rainy 4 Lights is Rain Man with 3 other bright cards, 20-point cards, which are bright cards. And 3 Lights are any 3-point cards except for Rain Man. So in that 3 Lights category, throw that yellow one in as a potential as well. It's any of the 3 that aren't Rain Man. So those are what the bright cards can build. And then these 2 are sort of like a, if this happens, this is how we're going to deal with it. But don't really expect it to happen, and it's not something you can work towards. These are sort of the consequences of the initial deal. If you have all 4 cards of the same month, say you're in the January round and you get dealt all 4 January cards, then the hand just gives you 6 points and you're done for the month. It's just how we're going to deal with it. And then the other one is just having 4 pairs with matching months in your hands gives you 6 points and concludes play. So it has to do with just dealing. Like, what happens if the deal turns out this way? But it's nothing you can work towards the way the other combinations are, so it's kind of like, not a thing. Don't worry about it for right now. Okay, so now let's go ahead and play a game. We'll play. We're going to play with beginner. Okay, random pick. Earliest month becomes the dealer, which is whoever gets to go first. So Snappy is going first. Okay, another reason as to why it's important to have a picture of the full deck so that you know what belongs to what and what goes where. And I'm not entirely sure what just happened. I know it was his turn, but I don't see anything in the combination pile for him. So, and I don't see any additions to the table because I was busy talking and looking away. So I'm going to pretend nothing happened and we'll just move on. Okay, so the 8 cards on the table and compare them with a picture of the deck. You're looking at a ribbon card, an animal card, because that's the butterfly card from... Where are you, butterfly card? Oh, June. That's the June peony animal card. And then we have another June ribbon card. And then we have the Rain Man, which is a bright card from November. And then we have the May animal card, the Boar card, which is an animal card, and then a junk card, which is the January junk card, and then a March junk card. So those are the cards that are on the table. So the good cards that we're sort of looking at, if you define it as high point combinations, is Rain Man's going to be your highest pointed card up there. Is it's a bright card, and the bright combinations give the most points. But they're also the hardest to get. Then we have the ribbon cards, which are good. There are 2 blue ribbon cards up there. Those are good to have. And then animal cards, and then junk cards. In my hand, I have a bright card. This is the Moon card from August. That is a bright card. It's not pairing with anything on the table because there's no other August cards on the table. This is the animal card from October. It's the deer card, so it would be not only part of the variety combination, it would also be part of the boar deer butterfly combination. That is pairing with the ribbon card from October. Remember, they have to be the same month in order to pair. This is a December junk card, December junk card. This is a July junk card, and it pairs with the boar, which is an animal card, and therefore would belong to either the variety category combination of any animal cards, or it would also belong to the boar, deer, butterfly combination. So that would be a good one to grab too. And then this is a red ribbon, red poetry ribbon, but it's not pairing with anything on the table, so I can't get it yet. This is the junk card, but also pairs with that boar card because it's the same month. It's another July card. These two are the same. These are all the same month, these three. And then this one is a March cherry blossom junk card. So we're going to go ahead and grab the boar card because I also have the deer card, so I have opportunity. And then can't grab the butterfly card, but that would have been kind of cool. So we'll grab the boar card to start, and then nothing paired from my deck pull. So after like the first go, I have one in my junk pile and one in my animal pile. Snappy has two in his junk pile. He took the butterfly card, so I can't get boar, deer, butterfly, but I can still go for generic animal. And then he has the Rain Man Bright card. So he has junk, animal, bright, and I have junk and animal. Those are the categories, combination piles that we're starting to build. Can't grab that. Let's go ahead and grab an animal and a ribbon card. And my card from the deck netted me nothing. He just got more to his junk pile. We'll go ahead and grab a ribbon card. And then I just got another ribbon card and another junk card. He got a junk card. Okay, so the only thing that matches... So now I can decide whether I want to grab two March junk cards or if I want to, like, discard a card. It's the way I look at it. I don't want to discard this because this is a bright card. And so that could potentially net me one of the light combinations, which are higher numbered, which are, you know, higher points. This is a December junk card. And there is a bright card for December that has not made its appearance yet, so I might choose to hang on to it. If he has the December junk card in his hand, he won't be able to play it and get it into his combination pile unless he's able to pair it with something. So I have to think about whether I want to play a card that'll pair with a bright card that he can grab. So that's the thinking on these two. This one is a March ribbon card, and it's also one of the ribbon cards, that has writing on it, which makes it part of the red ribbon poetry card as opposed to the generic poetry card pile. So I kind of want that. So I don't want to really discard that. And then this one is March as well. I'm sorry. This one is February Plum Blossom, and this is March Cherry Blossoms. Sorry, even having the deck in front of me, still get these sometimes confused. So with this one, in March, there is also one of these ribbons with writing on it if I wanted to wait and pair for that. So, but I think I'm going to go ahead and risk putting this junk out, and hopefully he won't have thing for that. Oh, he grabbed that ribbon card and he grabbed that ribbon card. He had a good pair. I guess we'll take two junk cards from December because that's all I can do. I don't know if I want to put out February. This might come back and bite me, but we'll grab two junk cards. Oh, and then I also got a ribbon card and an animal card. Now, he just got enough junk cards to form a junk combination. And he decided to... He opted not to end the round and take that point. He opted to continue playing and see if he can get more points. So if I get a combination, I might end the round and then he won't get those points. But we'll see. So now I'm stuck. Now I have to discard something because there's nothing to pair it with. So my... Oh, and he just took that, which I could have paired. He just got another junk. And he still wants to keep playing. I have nothing that I can pair with, which means I'm required to either discard a break card or a red poetry ribbon. Neither of which I want to do at all. We'll get rid of a break card, actually. He just got another junk combination. He's going to end up running. I know it. Yeah, he just lost. I just lost January. All right, that's okay. We'll play February. Okay, he's the dealer, so he's going to go first. He just discarded an animal, and his deck card just netted him the moon break card and then a junk card. So on the table, we have junk card, junk card, junk card, generic animal. Second row is a break card, junk card, junk card, junk card. In my hand, I have generic animal, junk card. This is a break card. This is an animal card, and it's also potentially part of the boar, deer, butterfly combination. This is a red poetry ribbon, which is a good one. That could net me 5 points if I get all three of those. This one will grab me the break card. This is another ribbon one, and then that. Let's go ahead and grab the break card. Let's see if our deck will give me anything. It gives me nothing. No. So let's go ahead and get the generic animal with the red ribbon, red poetry ribbon with the writing on it. So now I have junk, ribbon, animal, bright. And he has junk, ribbon, animal, bright. Those are the main bulk umbrella categories. So let's see what it... Okay, now, on the table, the card that is outlined in red, get to know this card. This is the September Chrysanthemum animal card. It is known as the Sake Cup Chrysanthemum card. It is the card that will pair with cherry blossom viewing or moon viewing. He has the moon. So if he gets this card, he can get moon viewing combination for 5 points. If I manage to get this card in my hand, which is the cherry blossom over curtain card, and pair it with the sake cup, that's the cherry blossom viewing combination. So we're going to go for that. So I'm going to grab this Chrysanthemum September Animal Sake Cup card. I want that. And now I want this, because this is going to go ahead and give me the cherry blossom viewing, because it's going to pair with that other card that I was just talking about. So then that'll run up. So now I can don't call coy, end the round, and I have 5 points to his 3. Or I can call coy and risk the 5 points to see if I can get anything better. Now, just based on what I see right now, I could get the deer card, because that's the maple card on the table, could pair with the deer card. That'll get me another junk, which will lead it up to 5. But animal will just get up to 3. It doesn't really get me anything necessarily. And then the other card on the table is a generic ribbon card for March. And I don't have anything in my hand that will give me that. So I don't see anything off the top of my head that will guarantee me like another combination soon. So I'm going to say don't call coy. Grab these 5 points and it'll be 3 to 5 and we'll go into the third round. So we won that. So it's 5 to 3. See now on the bottom left, there's that Sake Chrysanthemum animal card. We want that. That's what just got us a win on the previous hand. So let's definitely grab that. I'm not even looking at anything else. All I know is I want that Chrysanthemum card. That's all I know. Because it's the cheapest card to form a combination. If you can get either the Curtain Bright card or the Moon Bright card. It's like the best. It's just the easiest, fastest one to and it's worth 5 points, so it's totally worth it. Okay, so on the table, we have junk, junk, generic animal, and junk. Second row, junk, 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 and junk. So we have a ribbon card, which would be nice, but it doesn't pair with anything. Generic animal doesn't pair. Junk doesn't pair. Doesn't pair. This one will give me at least a generic animal and a junk card. 2 junk cards, and an animal and a junk card. So let's grab the animal off the table and make sure we have that one. And then generic ribbon doesn't pair with anything. So that's him. He had to discard and get one from the deck, and he got nothing. So let's get another animal card paired with a junk card. Don't ask me why the one in my hand outlined in blue is considered an animal card. I don't know what animal that is, but it is considered the animal card for the month of May. It goes in the animal category. So now we have 5 junk cards, 2 ribbon cards, and 3 animal cards. Now both of these would go to junk. Junk doesn't pair. Animal and ribbon, or ribbon and junk. Let's go with animal and ribbon just so that he doesn't take the ribbon. And then we just got some junk cards. He just got the boar and a junk card. The animal card, boar. So we've got ribbon and junk. Junk that pairs with nothing. Junk, junk, and junk, junk. Let's go ahead and get ribbon and junk. So that's the Rain Man card that just got unearthed. And then a junk card from, I think, August. And then that ribbon with the writing on it is March. That'd be a nice one to have. Now, because I have 8 junk cards, I could take this combination of the 2 peonies, and they're both junk cards, and that'll give me a junk combination. But it's only for 1 point. Or I can discard this, which is a April Wisteria card. The animal card for that month does not look like it's been played yet. And I have the ribbon card for it already. So he might be able to have the animal card in his hand, but he might not. And then this one is September Chrysanthemum. Doesn't pair with anything. We already have the Sake Cup card for that same month, so it doesn't matter. And I already have the ribbon card for that month. It's hard to see, but it's the one blue one in my ribbon pile. So I'm going to discard this, because the only thing he can pair it with is another junk card from that month, so it's no good to him. He just got the Curtain Bright card, which is a nice card. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the junk, and we will get that junk combination, because now we have 10 junk cards. And I do not... Well, this is a question that's going to be different every time. That Sake Cup card that we've talked about and that helped us win the second round, that is the only card in the hand that can belong to 2 different categories. It can either be an animal card or a junk card, so it's sort of like a wild card in that respect. If I was behind in points, I might choose to allow it to be another point, because I have 10 junk cards, I get 1 point. If I choose to make the sake cup no longer an animal card, but make it a junk card, that'll give me, that's where the extra point comes from 1 to 2. So I could do that if I wanted to. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that anyway, because then we'll get some. But I don't need it because I'm already winning. And if I don't call koi for this, and I just got poetry ribbons, so there we go. So we'll take that, and I'm actually going to not call koi. I'm going to award myself these 3 points, and we're going to win the whole game 8-3. And so now how this is awarded is it subtracts the loser from the winner, and then they multiply it by 10. So I won by 5 points. The wager was 10 points, and I think that's just a default for a beginner because I've never chosen that. And so I end up getting 50 points for winning. And there you go. And then you can decide to play again. And I have to admit, it's gotten a little addictive. So there you go. If you have any questions or clarifications on the cards or anything like that, drop a comment and I will do my best to answer them. Else, have fun playing.